WOXY.com. I'm now very pleased to be joined in the studio by our friend John Davis. Welcome.
Thanks for having me. It's good to be here finally.
It's cool to finally have you actually
on the premises.
Yeah, in the building when you've been on the air for so long now.
Yeah, I can't believe it's taken me so long to get here, but
well, we didn't make it easier for you. You know, we were a little closer to you, but now it's kind of a haul.
But I gotta say, I'm probably in Austin more often than I am in Cincinnati. So
it's hard to believe.
So this is probably a better thing.
Well, thank you for coming in today. We're going to be recording a session with you down the hall. Here, we're going to play back on Friday afternoon, but Title Tracks in town tonight. Going to be playing a show over at the Mohawk with Pretty and Nice. And you've been out on the road now for like a week and a half or so. How's it going?
We've had really horrible weather the whole way.
I was wondering because I wasn't sure exactly where you've been, but the weather has just been nuts.
And that probably shouldn't be the first thing I talk about because the shows have been really fun. But I hadn't toured in almost a year and a half, so it was sort of like a welcome back to life on the road sort of situation of driving through 4-hour drives turning into 7-hour drives and things like that, and lots of snow and ice and rain and all that. But
makes the schedule kind of more difficult to stick to.
Remembering why I normally don't tour in February, and that's why. But it's been really nice to be out on the road again, and the band sounds awesome, and all the guys I'm playing with are great, and Pretty and Nice, the other band we're out with, is really, really good. I like seeing them every night. I'm not sick of them yet. Yeah,
they're fun. They're from Boston, right?
Yes.
Yeah, good records. We've enjoyed their stuff.
Good. Yeah, they're great.
Well, let's talk about Title Tracks a little bit for our audience. I mean, certainly we've been playing the music going back to the single from last spring when you put out the 7-inch on Discord, but now we've got the full-length record. It was easy, and I guess just maybe we could start just where the project started for you, because certainly it sort of, for some on the outside, maybe seemed like it came really quickly, but you I guess knew kind of that Georgie James was on the way out, and so you were just going ahead and taking those next steps where you wanted to go musically.
Yeah, it wasn't very long after the release of the Georgie James record, I'd say maybe even 2 or 3 months, that I kind of really had a pretty clear notion that it wasn't going to last much longer. It just wasn't really that enjoyable anymore, and so I thought, well, I'm going to start writing songs to kind of try to feel better, and it'll either be a solo record, which is really cool, or maybe it'll just wind up being another Georgie James record, and hopefully maybe things will get better and it'll be a Georgie James album. Either way, it was like, get to work, start writing, and and I knew that would make me just start feeling better, and so I started writing, and it remained as I had seen that Georgie James was not going to stay together, so by the time we announced that breakup in the summer of 2008, I guess about a year and a half ago, really had almost finished the album in terms of writing the songs. By that point, I had maybe a couple more left to do, but I think I had just needed that project to sort of get through, what a disappointing situation the breakup of Georgie James had been. Yeah. So having a new thing to look forward to and to work on really made it a lot easier, even though it was a difficult time. So yeah, by the end of 2008, I was pretty much ready to go, with a new record.
And you've put this together as you've got a great live band that's backing you now, but on the album itself, it's you.
It is me.
So it is kind of a solo solo thing. And do you see that going forward? Maybe it's too early for that, but I mean, do you see yourself kind of continuing to do that for this project, or maybe it transforming into more of the live band into another record?
Yeah, I do think it'll be more of a band situation in the future, but I'm sure at some point again in the future I will make another record just by myself, because it was a good challenge, and it was fun in a way, but it's more fun to have people around, and to work with people and kind of give you some new ideas. But I had never been able to do that before, where I made my own record, so I just took the chance to do it, and it was enjoyable, and it really, it was something I'm really glad I did. But I do think, at least for the next record, that's something where we'll bring the band in more and have those guys playing on the record.
How do you work when you're doing something like that? Are you going back in and like, oh, I want to add this other layer. I mean, like when you're thinking of the instrumentation that you want to use, like how are you going about that, doing it on your own?
I don't think about it too much. It's just sort of when I write the songs, most of the time I come in with a general chord progression in mind, and I build around that. But the first thing I always have to do with demos or with a proper recording is I do record the drums first. Okay. So a lot of times I'll have 2/3 of the song done, and then there's no bridge or there's no whatever, and I'll just kind of make it up on the fly while I'm recording the demos, the drums for the demo. And I've written some songs that way where it's just sort of I wrote the drum part first and then put some chords on top of it later. So this is a variety of ways it comes together, but and that again is kind of part of the challenge of what makes it interesting to just do all the writing myself, and I really enjoy that, and I think that's something I'm going to continue to do is handle the writing. But like I said, I do want other people playing on the record.
Cool. There's a couple of great covers on this record. Nice. You got a Bruce Springsteen track and a Bird song. And we've certainly gotten to know your taste a little bit, I think, with the 1, 2, 3, 4 more show. Yeah. So, are there maybe some artists that you want to give the title track's spin to that you haven't laid down yet?
We definitely do a variety of other covers that we've been playing on this tour. If anything, the ones on the album are kind of, we just don't really play anymore. We play the Birds one a little bit here and there.
I really like that song.
Oh, thanks. And the Springsteen one, I'd play it again, but it's always, I don't think it's ever as good as when I have somebody singing it with me. So if Tracy Ann's around and can sing with me, then maybe we'll do it. But other than that, I'm not sure how often we'll really play that song. But we do a cover of a Otis Redding song called Security. We do a cover of a 2020 song called Remember the Lightning. We do I Stand Accused by the Mersey Beats. We do I Can't Hide by the Flamin' Groovies. We do a bunch of covers at practice only. We do Heat Wave by Martha and the Vandellas, and we're saving that for the third encore in Germany.
Nice.
And that's, but that's really a lot of fun for us to just play songs. We just really enjoy doing that, that aren't necessarily the ones that I write, just whatever we feel like doing.
I love your musical taste. I feel like even for me, listening to the show is sometimes a nice little education. You play some nuggets that that maybe are things that I know the artist but haven't heard that particular track, or things that I've always kind of meant to hear. And I'm curious about how the show, I know it originally started on XM and you brought it to us, but how did it get started? Did you come from a college radio background, or was this just something you were interested in doing?
Yeah, I was kind of raised at radio stations. My dad is in radio.
Okay.
And since before I was born, he was a DJ and then a program director and eventually a general manager. And so when when I was a kid, my brother and I would just hang around the radio station. We just go, multiple times a week, just go hang out at the radio station and learn how to run the board and learn how to segue records together and lots of really geeky stuff, just going home and having my own pretend radio station, WJD or whatever. And
I did that, and I didn't have any sort of radio family.
Well, I'm glad. Well, I'm not the only one who's doing that, but so I did that as a kid, and then college radio at WMUC at the University of Maryland for several years. And then in terms of doing this show, it was another sort of, Georgie James was kind of winding down and was looking for something fun and positive to do, and just talked to the guy at XM, said, "Can I do a show?" And he said yes. And it was really simple. It just kind of happened. Cool. And then once things at XM started to kind of fall apart, I just asked you guys and then moved over here.
Yeah, it's been great. We love it.
Thanks. Yeah.
This show last weekend, your DC focused show was fantastic. You had me digging up some of my old Tsunami and Velocity Girl stuff that I listened to all the time in college. That had me pulling out.
Yeah, I haven't listened to in a while, but it was kind of fun to sort of go to again. And I'm sure I forgot a lot of stuff. And I was kind of wondering if anybody was even going to say, you forgot about, I don't know, Eggs or whatever. I don't know, whatever band I forgot about. But yeah, it was really fun doing that.
That just leaves it open for a second installment somewhere down the road.
Yeah, hopefully.
Well, this tour is gonna have you out still right through the middle of next month. You've got these dates continuing with Pretty and Nice, and then you're doing some dates with Ted Leo, which should be a lot of fun.
I hope so.
And then coming back to Austin for South by stuff.
Yes.
So you're gonna be pretty busy.
Yeah, and then we actually go out to the West Coast at the end of April too. So we're gonna be busy all spring, but that's what we've been waiting for.
Right on. Well, myspace.com/titletracksdc is where all of those dates are going to be found. And best of luck on the road. I'm looking forward to the show tonight and what you guys are going to play here in the lounge for us.
All right. Thank you.
I'll play a track off the record right now. This is Hello There from Title Tracks here at WOXY.com.